The silent meditation we teach, one of the highest methods practiced in ancient India. That's one thing. Another thing, this is the technique that the Jangama sage who appeared before my Guru, he gave this technique to my Guru in 1949 at the age of 14 when he was made to sit for tapas. So this is one thing. And in this method, so when you just watch, the mind slowly on its own becomes silent and gathers and becomes silent without the help of any external anchor. Thus, it would be easy for it to straight away going introverted to merge with the self eventually, finally, to become self realized. However, if you want to do a mantra, it's no harm. You can do it before meditation or after meditation, continue for some time. All the mantras, any other type of sadhana helps you to achieve the focus, single pointedness of the mind which is scattered. So you, by chanting the mantra, you just try to make it single pointed, catch it. Then finally you have to abandon that mantra, otherwise the mind can be stuck there instead of going introverted and towards the self. Because when you chant the mantra, do the japa is what is known as when you chant the mantra japa. All your attention has to be on the mantra. Many people have asked many such type of questions, and many gurus would be recommending as their own mantra very powerful. Like some might talk about Gayatri mantra as very powerful, another Mrityunjay mantra as powerful, Rama as powerful, like that. But the power is not in the mantra, power is in your mind, in your faith, in your ability to focus on the mantra when you do that one. So that's how the mantra becomes powerful. Because if you look back into the history or legend or any such stories of great sages or devotional movements that happened about 300 to 400 years ago, Mirabai, Tulsi Das, and some in Karnataka area also, they all were great devotees of either Krishna or Rama or Mother Goddess. But they all achieved almost self-realization. They rose to the level of highest tapas, wherein their consciousness, for example, Mirabai, in her consciousness only Krishna was there. Even Meera did not exist. She was a Krishna all the time. She got drawn so much to that level. So that means the power is not in the mantra, in the faith and devotion of a person. So any mantra can become powerful to you. Kabir Das chanted Rama. So if any mantra appeals to you, you can also do. And for information, I was initiated into a mantra by my Guru in a dream just one day before I met him physically, actually in 1971. It's a very strange experience, difficult to explain, inexplicable thing. Maybe either previous life connections or my own resolutions that I wanted that such a thing came out. In the dream, it is pitch darkness. People are standing in the queue. I'm also standing in the queue. Somebody comes and takes me. Swamiji is waiting for you. Why are you in the queue? Come. So from the back side door, he takes me inside. Swamiji is sitting on an erected dais on a tiger skin. And in the dream, he asks me, what do you want? Perhaps by the practice of Adi Shankara's teaching readings, he repeatedly talks about jnana, bhakti, vairagya, any knowledge and the devotion, detachment. Knowledge of the ultimate truth, devotion to that truth, and detachment from the unreal to the unrealness. So I ask in the dream also, I need jnana, bhakti, vairagya. Then the fun is, Swamiji gives a small stick in the dream only, continue, telling you can get anything that you want. Holding that stick, I tell, okay, I want Swamiji only. Then he takes back that stick, telling, if you want God, this stick is of no use. This can give you worldly things only, cannot give you God. So he breaks it and throws it away. Then he chants this mantra, and writing it on my tongue, Om Shivaya, Shivabala Yogendraya, Parabrahmanaya. You chant this, then you will come to me soon and you will get everything. So when I got up, it was early morning, maybe around 4 o'clock or so, I was already chanting. So I had memorized, and that came very naturally for me. So it happened in such a wonderful, amazing way, inexplicably. So that mantra became dearer to me, and I took in good faith, totally faith. For me, my Guru's name was everything. I didn't have had to chant any other name. Though but from childhood we were brought up through Bhakti Marga also, apart from meditation, chanting names of gods, singing bhajans, all these are very common for us. So that's how it happened for me also. So this is the difference between meditation and mantras also. As morning also I was talking about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He also did great tapas, but through Bhakti Marga, he was a great devotee of Mother Kali. So he always worshipped her and used to lament that one more day has passed, I haven't yet seen my mother. He used to bang his head onto the ground like that, like a madman. Many people thought him to be mad. But finally, some devotees, Bhairavi Brahmani, they all recognized, and some priests all sat down and discussed. They said, he is in a Mahabhava, he is not a madness. Mahabhava means the supreme feeling, bhava, towards divinity. So that's why he appears to be mad. So that was the status. Then Totapuri Maharaj comes to him in his life. Totapuri had practiced Nirvikalpa Samadhi, silent meditation for 40 years, and achieved Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He tells, I want to initiate you into Nirvikalpa Samadhi. This is childish play, what you are doing is Mother Kali nonsense. He tells. But Ramakrishna tells, no, I have to talk to my mother, pray to her. If she permits, then I will come to you. He goes inside the temple, 5 minutes he prays, then comes outside and tells, my mother Kali has permitted that I can get initiated from you for Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He says, okay, ridiculous nonsense what you are talking, childish thing. Anyway, come, I will teach you. Then he makes him to sit down, touching here. You have to concentrate here without repeating anything. Sit down. So it was quite easy for him to concentrate here. He had already doing tapas. But he opens his eyes and tells, I am able to withdraw from senses of my mind in every way. But Mother Kali is standing there. She doesn't disappear. I am unable to remove her. How will I go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi? The story says that Totapuri got annoyed, and there was a wooden idol of Mother Kali, and taking the sword, he cuts it into 2 pieces, tells, now your Mother Kali is dead, I have killed her. No more Mother Goddess Kali exists at all. Forget about her. And then he takes a glass piece and pierces in between eyebrows. And then he goes to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, giving up every imagination, every iota of imagination. So that is how it happened to him. So this is the different, what the final achievement, you have to become silent in your mind. Till then, you can always use mantras if you are fond of any mantra, if you are inclined. That's what my Guru also, he was also a very unique master. He did not emphasize only formlessness. He said God can be both form and formless. You can adore, worship in any form, in any formless, in any name. Simply do not condemn others' beliefs. So everything is God, everywhere is God. So like that only he told also. So you can do a mantra before meditation, and then while meditating, Just do not combine that mantra, just silently you have to watch. See, mind is not located at one place. Impossible. Nobody has seen it in naked eye. Nobody can point out. You might be able to point out the brain is located here, but not the mind. You cannot say mind is here, mind is here, the spiritual heart is here. Like that, so many people, different teachers have spoken about it. Symbolically, they would have spoken the consciousness, Kundalini, because both Kundalini and mind are not different. They are the same substance. One portion which has gone into the body, a coiled energy, that they called it as Kundalini Shakti, means coiled energy. Mind, another portion, with imagination scattered into universe or outside, that we call it as mind. Compared to Kundalini, mind is more powerful. It is spread widely. So always a seeker is taught first to concentrate the mind, gather the mind. Then mind automatically lifts the Kundalini body consciousness also. And when they both become one mass, then gets detached from the brain, and the seeker, while doing tapas, feels as if they are here. This place is known as Sahasrara Kamala, means 1,000 petals lotus. But there is no 1,000 petals lotus. Symbolically, that terminology has been used by some teachers to tell when consciously you feel you are here, means mentally or unconsciously you are blossomed, that your mind has regained the form of pure consciousness and it is ready to go to Samadhi. So while teaching would have mentioned just like 1,000 petals lotus blossoming, your consciousness is also blossomed. It is totally purified. No iota of imagination is there. That's when it is detached from the brain's reflections. So that's how they mention different chakras, Mooladhara. See, Mooladhara, usually in a simpler terminology, based on the sex, the person's imagination would be, I am a man or I am a woman. That is sitting so strongly, that consciousness. So one would have forgotten themselves as the soul, infinite consciousness. That's why they call it Mooladhara, the base. From there, if that consciousness rises above, then you lose, like Adi Shankara talking in Nachavyama Bhumi, I am neither this, I am nor that, I am neither the guru nor the disciple, I don't have mother or father, I don't have this or that. I am that Shivoham, that Shiva, that supreme consciousness, like he talks. So like that, different chakras have been mentioned. If at all some teacher wants you to focus on some chakra, means it will have to be, you have to imagine some place here. See, by eyes you cannot turn totally downwards and watch like that, not possible. When you close the eyes, you imagine as if your consciousness, that what I talk about, the consciousness of existence that you have, you can imagine it coming from the source here. It can come from here. If you just watch it here, it is here only, like that. So if at all they ask you to concentrate, it is first so that you gather your mind to make it single pointed. Then it has to completely detach from the brain finally. Like this place is known as the Agna Chakra. Perhaps the ancient teachers mentioned this as the commanding circle. When you are able to gather the mind 100%, from then onwards, you can be the master of your mind. Till then, the mind makes you to dance to its tunes. Whatever it runs away, you go further. So because this is the closest to the brain, when they did tapas, this is what our experience also in tapas. When you gather the 100%, so till then you have to put effort with willpower, holding the mind there. so that everything comes there. Once it is there, a mass that the body conscious also is lifted, then it gets detached from the brain's clutches. Clutches, I use the word instead of reflection sometimes, because this consciousness is forced to be into the reflections. It takes it and registers as a reality. Where whatever the brain tells, the mind with good faith believes, whereas not necessarily be. Also I have told, brain can be a very good servant but a bad master. You should be using the brain, not the brain should use you. Like the servant should not use you, you should use the servant. This example also I have given. You are in your bedroom, somebody knocks on the door, you send your servant, go and see. The servant goes and comes back. Sir, one of your friends came, I just drove him away, asked him to get out. That is not the job of the servant. Servant should have come and told, a person is standing, wants to meet you. Then you are the one who will decide whether you would like to meet or not. That is the master and servant relationship. The brain has given you the consciousness of this world. That's a good thing. The brain can tell, okay, this is it, this is it. Then you have to apply your wisdom. What is reality, what is unreality, what is useful to you, what is not useful to you, what is impermanent, what is permanent, like these things. So all these things becomes possible when the mind becomes totally purified. So this is briefly about the chakras that is talking. There are no really chakras are there. Chakra cleansing also has been spoken by many teachers. Chakra cleansing is nothing but the purification of the mind, consciousness. Mind has to regain its parama, consciousness, and in that process, the body consciousness also become purified. Until you have the consciousness of yourself as the body, that is considered spiritually as impurity, means ignorance. The consciousness has shifted. And until the mind has all thoughts and visions which are not useful for you to realize your real self, they are all impurities. So cleansing this, only when you just watch, you can cleanse them. It's not through water, not through gas that you can cleanse this consciousness. It is infinity. So that's what you need to understand. Many students I have come across, they have discussed the things with me about chakra. They have misunderstood by their guru's teachings that chakra cleansing has to happen. And they get into an illusion that they are stuck into a particular chakra and how to come out of that. Really, no such thing happens. Simply in your imagination, if you are stuck, that imagination is making you to get stuck into that imagination. Once you overcome that imagination, you release yourself. You make an analyzation and a judgment, so you are stuck there with that judgment. You are getting involved. That becomes your mental attitude also. To release yourself, you overcome through meditation, so your mind becomes purified and you are liberated. So these are some of the points of chakras, mind, consciousness, what has to happen. Watch is the first point of meditation. Your mind has both thinking capacity, watching capacity. Like you come across a beautiful scenario, dumbfoundedly you watch and you fall in love, you are dumbfounded. Things become inexplicable. Means mind has stopped there by watching. At that time, it stops analyzing, it stops thinking about anything. A beautiful scene can become simply inexplicable. Like that, meditation's first technical point is your ability to watch. That's what you have to practice. Keeping the eyes closed, using the eyeballs. Eyeballs are one of the most strongest sensory organs. If the eyeballs can be fixed and you just watch using the eyeball, here you have to understand, when we ask you to watch in between eyebrows, we are not giving you any other target. what you are supposed to watch. Nothing. You just watch. I'm not asking you have to watch this God, this name, nothing. You just watch there. You are using the eyeball. As you watch, then the mind gathers there. All the mind comes back. And you are successfully are able to hold the eyeballs. That is why Patanjali has spoken 4 important reasons why you are unable to go into samadhi is the movement of the body, inability to keep it stable. That is what first you achieve. At least for 1 hour you should be able to sit comfortably without moving. The next one is the eyeballs and eyelids should not move. Steady. The eyeballs constantly keeps moving. That's what gives a jerk to the mind also. And then you get confused going after the mind. So if you steadily watch, then you achieve that one. These things will happen only through your effort. The Guru guides you, tries to inspire you, keep repeatedly talking, this is what has to happen, this is what has to happen. That is the right Guru, right Yogi insists for this thing. And then the third one, irregular breathing. But if you steadily watch the eyes, the breathing becomes smooth and it appears to be slow as if non-existence, but it has to go on. You cannot stop the oxygen supply. That's very much necessary. You cannot starve yourself of oxygen. But it should go smoothly, mechanically. Just like when you are driving a car, every time you cannot afford to see the brake where it is and then brake, then by then you would have banged the car to somewhere. By practice, your attention is on the road, you are driving. By practice, you press the accelerator, you press the clutch, or you press the brake, whatever happens. Like this, your attention has to be here. By practice, it becomes smooth. And fourth one, mind itself. Because of its habits of imaginations, it has become so preoccupied. So like this sequence, one by one, slowly, skillfully, you have to achieve. Then you come to the actual watching you would have achieved. If you steady the eyeballs, then it stops moving. Then you will see your mind also settling down. Then both eyeballs starts coming towards one direction slowly. Then it withdraws the mind also. So like that you should be able to continue. That 1 hour is recommended. If you achieve this 1 hour just watching, that is the real meditation. Then slowly you can try to increase the duration. If when you are able to do 8 to 10 hours like that, keep it quiet, then you are able to do tapas. Tapas word is used so that you once for all burn out all habits of the mind, all imagination habits, all analyzing judgments, everything, silence the mind. That's when it regains the purest form of consciousness. So this is the process, but slowly, one by one, you don't have to worry about the tapas, whether I will be able to do it before I die. Must not worry about this, because by worrying, you will waste more time and energy. We give the example of top of the mountain. First day itself, you don't have to worry about the top of the mountain. One by one, step by step, slowly, slowly you go. One day you can be on top of the mountain by practicing, by practicing. See, we were fortunate from childhood, we had the inclination, the circumstances, situations were available, like chants and the bhajan singing, music, listening to the devotional music. All these helped us to keep our minds less and less violent. Non-violent means, what I mean by non-violent means, less analyzing, less judgmentals. Means by habit, I used to be, one example I will tell. In the society generally, people try to analyze about others. If you have seen everywhere, in every age, today 70 years, at the age of 10, 14 with our classmates, once sometimes if I had gone to watch a movie, by taking permission from our parents, then only we used to go for a movie in our times. Okay, this is worth watching, it is spiritual, you can go and see, then we would go. When we were teen, our friends used to keep commenting about others. Say, for example, a boy and a girl are sitting, they would talk nonsense about them. I never liked it. I said, to me, they could be simply brother and sister, anybody. Why are you talking that nonsense? Why are you trying to make judgments unnecessary? So, like this, I never liked to be judgmental about others. We don't know they are good or bad. Why should we bother so much? So they might be good. We might be thinking that they are bad. If we start thinking they are bad, they will appear as bad. If we think they are good, they will appear as good. Years later, I read in Yoga Vasisthas, our sister talking, mind can play such havoc of imagination on yourself. You might be fooling yourself. A friend might appear as a foe might appear as a friend. That's what psychologically it can affect you, Vasishtha talks. So that's what you have to be careful and go according to this sequence. Then you can achieve slowly. Yes, that is the final. I mean, no iota of imagination should be there. Not even the imagination of God also should be there. Not imagination of the divine. In Bhakti Marga, you use the divine's imagination so that your mind becomes single pointed. Like due to imagination, mind has gone out of control. Using the same imagination, you try to make it single pointed. Then you have to overcome for the final merger and self realization. So, no seer and seen. Duality finishes once for all. Only one single self exists. That has to be achieved. Till then, you have to do. Eyeballs won't cross this point actually. It stops in here. This is the last point where it comes. That's like the vanishing point. When it comes, your vision stops here, and that duality vision, you and something that you are watching ends there. Then your mind starts going introverted. You don't have to force it. Skillfully, slowly you have to practice. Then slowly it settles down in composure. Not to force, but be firm.
Right.
Firm and forcing is slightly different. Forcing is you are in a rush, abruptness. Firm is you will achieve that, you will not give up. By trying to imagine, all sorts of things starts coming. From two guys to two chopsticks and two other things, unnecessary things come. Then that can give rise to further imagination, and you lose the grip over eyeballs. That's how it happens. Instead, just steadily watch the front portion. Even first, you don't bother about the central point. You just watch the front portion without bothering whether it is light, darkness, any thought or no thought. Then slowly on its own it will come. In life, always a certain point you have to give an effort, then allow it to happen. That's automatically. Just like you have to press the accelerator, then allow the vehicle to move, it will move. That is like an automatic process, automatic divine activity. But the pressing is your effort. But only that much, not too much, not less than that. You have to practice how much you will press the accelerator. So, like that, here, you just watch it peacefully, composed, but firm, and allow it to come together. You don't bother too much, otherwise, you will end up with chopsticks. Vision appears longer means still the eyeballs has not yet come to the central point. That's when the vision, longer vision appears. As the eyeball starts coming, the vision comes closer. That's what you have to observe. However, if it's easier, the longer that vision also, you just watch. That's what I'm trying to tell. Even if the eyeball is there, just watch the front portion. The same thing I think you are trying to tell. You are able to watch here. So instead of here, so that's easier. So watch like that. After some time, on its own, it will come here. Give some time, stick to that without thinking anything. Practice. One thing is practice. However, sometimes if you are not too used to sitting like that at all, then like for example, you see after 30 minutes, you might start feeling the pain. So for some time, it's okay to adjust the legs a little bit more for 1 minute or half a minute, trying to keep the focus here a little bit, and then you can continue for another 30 minutes. Like that, you practice. One day you will be able to sit comfortably for 1 hour. If necessary, you can sit on a chair also if that is more comfortable for you. Or you want to practice on the ground also, it's no problem. These things, if the back, any back or chest like that, if you feel heavy, you can keep yourself to the wall also with a small cushion and keep try to straight like this. So then slowly it will be all right. Legs, if it pains, you can change the position and bring it back, and then you can continue for some time until you are comfortably used to. In spite of all this, if it is still difficult, then try to sit on a chair and do it. But try to keep the back and neck straight as much possible. Actually, there is no one definition what the truth is. In our experience, we have high respect for all the three philosophies of Dvaita, Vishishta Dvaita, and Advaita. When you begin, you are still a droplet, your imagination. You need an anchor of ocean to feel secure. That is the concept of divinity, God, you and your God. As you go on progressing, whether through Bhakti Marga, through Dhyana Marga, your consciousness gathers on that. Only that thing starts staying. Even if you want to be on the devotional path, say you are fond of one particular form of God and you fall in love, slowly it must raise to that level. One day only that thing is there and you do not exist in your consciousness. That's when slowly the merger automatically happens unknown to you. Until then, that is not the right Bhakti Marga. When you maintain ego of separateness, then you are likely to misinterpret the truth of existence. So that is when. So when the sadhak is doing that, when the mind gathers and starts going introverted, you feel that some inner strength power is sucking you back. That's when you realize I was nothing but an amsha of that truth. That is Vishishta Dvaita, as Ramanuja said. So then finally when merger happens, neither me nor that. When there is no devotee, no God. So everything vanishes, one single self that stays. So all the three have equally respects in this world. But those who try to tell that this is the only way, they have not realized anything in true sense. In my opinion, they are narrow-minded people who insist that this cannot be that, that cannot be this. It is all the thing, but you have a choice. You want to be in the Dvaita Bhava, as long as you want, you can maintain that one. But one day, as you maintain sincerely, if you maintain, your consciousness will merge into that. Automatically, it gets sucked into that. Like I was talking for Mirabai, there was never Mira existed, only Krishna existed in her consciousness. She was so devoted to Krishna, she saw in everything, as everything, only Krishna. So these people whom you are talking, also they will agree that their God is all pervaded. They won't say that their God is only here and not there. When it is all pervaded, how can there be a second entity exists? Yeah, we have heard a lot in historical times also. The Shaivites, Vaishnavites fighting with each other. Vaishnavites will tell ki we will burn you and take that vibhuti. Shaivites telling the Iyengar. And they don't even in their gates grill also, they will keep the grills straight, Iyengar. And if it is Shaivites, they will keep the grills sideways only, they won't keep straight because they don't want the namams. So that type of thing. So they are all narrow-minded people who have not understood the actual truth. There is no difference. All the great trinities are great acharyas who came, and what they interpreted, they told, their followers would have misunderstood about these things. That's how historically lot of things have happened, fights and infights. Like I have read the Sthala Purana of Tirupati also. When that idol was found, so there was a lot of arguments between Shaivites and Vaishnavites. This is Lord Shiva, no, this is Lord Vishnu. Then it says that Ramanujacharya, somebody was there, some leader. They said that we will keep both the ornaments of Lord Shiva and Vishnu in the night and lock the idol in a room. And if it is Vishnu, he will take his ornaments. If it is Shiva, he will take his ornaments. They kept the Damaru, Trishul, everything, and the Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Mace, everything they kept. And the gods were left there. And the story says this much. Next day morning, when the king and everybody came, so the idol had adorned the Vishnu's mace and Padma, everything, and that was decided it is Lord Vishnu's idol. So what we can guess as educated people, gods would have been bribed. Somehow the Vaishnavites had an upper hand. They went and put the Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and then finally made it. The Shaivites failed in that one. So this type of things also has happened historically. Funny though, but finally that's it. So for us, Shiva and Vishnu are no different, the same thing. I give examples usually for this thing. It is the same woman. The son tells father, Father, she is not a wife, she is only the mother. And the father tells, idiot, she is a wife, she is not a mother. Father and son are fighting about the woman. No, it is a mother. He says, no, it is a wife, she cannot be a mother. Can it be? She is mother to the son, she is wife to the husband. That's what we have to understand about God. You see, finally, when you rise to the level of tapas, somebody loyal to you need to look after your body. At that stage, say you are sitting for 10 hours or 18 hours, you are able to, the body is likely to get affected. That's what happened. Say all the time, we were lucky. During my tapas time, Ambaji looked after like a mother. A little bit of food she always fed me with vegetable soup or some khichdi, we tell a watery khichdi type. So like that one, she was there all the time to look after. And another couple also who live in the ashram, they were also trying to help a little bit. Like that, the help was there. And they were massaging my fingers also. So this could not happen to my guru, and he was more stubbornly sat also. Whereas he taught me this point of no need to be stubborn and force, but be firm. These two things are different. He said, I was a child. Swamiji frankly used to tell, I was a child. There was nobody to guide me. I just went on sitting firmly because the villagers used to make fun. In villages, often ignorance may give rise to such opinions that he used to have a glass of milk in the midnight, come out of Samadhi. And there is a misconception that in ancient times, thousands of years, the sages would sit like that without having any food at all. They made fun, and then Swamiji gave up milk also for some time. But the other saint, Tapasviji Maharaj, Vishnu Dhama, who came and met him, he used to have an ashram in Kakinada. He came to know about this and he came to Adivapeta and woke up Swamiji from Samadhi, advised him, do not make your body a circus item. People of this world are ignorant. They don't know what the truth is. some amount of food must be given so that you can digest. When you are sitting, when you are not physically more active, little bit food needs to be given, whichever way that you can digest. Don't starve. After some time, the body will fall down. So it will be useless. You cannot help anybody, and you may not be able to achieve 100% of merger also. So you need to look out. So that becomes necessary some. But first day itself you don't have to bother too much. That will take long time, but first you practice at least 1 hour sitting. That can see you through a long way. Your mind can change so much and it can become so matured, can give you so much of confidence. Slowly, few hours, and intermittently you get up and give some time. Like that only you can do that.
I kept Baba padlocked. Yeah, I used to lock outside his room. 5 years, padlocked inside in one room with a bathroom, that's all. He may not be even remember what I used to give, what I used to do, what I was, you know.
Because in
He
those
can't.
days, to remember a particular date or a day also was difficult. Only when she told this is the day only, otherwise I had lost the times concept at all. When the mind was totally becoming quiet and quiet. So she was very loyal and to give, even if anybody gives you poison telling this is poison also, it doesn't strikes or reverberates in the mind. You might simply take it. So somebody devoted. That's how I even call her a mother. They also. Different mudras definitely have. There was a book some time ago, some person had written. But generally, for general understanding, the nervous systems comes through when you are pressing, that nervous stretch can happen. So that way certain mudras would be definitely helpful when you are meditating. But even simple way also is good. Or you pressing like this different fingers, sitting at different times can be helpful. The nervous stretch happens. Yeah, it joined like this. That's what I was trying to tell. Ki he couldn't straighten this. For some time this was locked also. Then after great massage, Tapsirji Maharaj gave some oil and massage. At least the hand came out, but fingers remained like this throughout his life. It was totally joined
Yeah,
100%.
it was so funny. Swamiji's hand never get open
Hmm.
because they locked.
All his fingers were like this only.
Every night for half an hour we used to do Baba's joints massage, so he can hands, knees, ankles.
Yeah. I
Every
did some yoga exercises also.
every night we used to massage him on his joints, so before he could go back for
I
the
had watched my master. I thought ki as much as possible I should try that I don't depend on others for this body's movement. I should try to be independently. Otherwise, it becomes difficult to work. See, unknown to me when I thought times have changed. During my guru's time, he hardly attended even a telephone also. But today I have to attend. There is a cell phone, WhatsApp messages come, occasionally some calls come. Somebody is dead and they want a blessings, a prayer. We attend to them, console, ki bhai, please convey condolences. We will pray for the departed soul. Like this, we have to be in touch. And email is another thing. Every day, early morning, 4 o'clock, I attend 30 to 40 emails. Two lines quickly I try to type and write, and prayers, blessings we send, any little bit counseling needed, spiritual question is there. Every day it comes from different parts of the world. So for all these things, body, limbs need to be active and good. Otherwise it would have been very difficult for me. I wouldn't have been able to attend to these things. Definitely some amount of progress keeps happening whenever you sit and do meditation at home also. It may go unnoticed, and because of lack of confidence you may not notice often. Means the things like miraculous things or the grace of the divine, it keeps happening to every life. But when we are preoccupied in the world too much, with lack of confidence, or always we have a negative attitude, then we fail to notice such things. So one needs to overcome and develop and cultivate positive attitude always. That's how in Bhakti Marga also we developed ourselves since childhood. Like for example, positive attitude means whatever we felt like, we used to pray to God. Please, this should be all right, that should be all right, this thing, childhood things in bhakti. But not that always everything happened as we wished. But we never lost confidence or faith in God. Though I wanted it to happen like this, if it has not happened, maybe it's the grace of the divine. The divine has better things in his store for me. Positively, we used to think like that one and assure ourselves. That helped us to sustain ourselves onto the path of bhakti, shraddha. Shraddha means total devotion. So like that is what we try to teach you all. Anytime you write emails also I try to write. So the rest you have to cultivate, you have to take that one. I can give you the stick of confidence, you have to catch hold of it. You are the horse, I can take you to the river, but you have to drink the water. That's necessary. If you understand, be positive always, nothing happens. No, you are hesitating, just for example of education, hesitating to come. Finally you decided to come. Things are going all right. It will be all right. You just think that it's all right. Otherwise, for every one mosquito, we will be scared in this world. Let 100,000 mosquitoes come, no problem. Average Indian is very immunized like this. Even during the time of SARS, you remember, the whole world was so much worried, but in India, people were coming and going in the airport also.
Uh, and I think in a culture we get taught from the childhood, if you are scared that this roof is gonna fall on me, then you will never sit under any roof. So, uh, so in generally in India, in our practice from the childhood, we get taught not to worry too much, not to think too much. Have faith, have confidence in the divinity around you, and that will take care. In fact, that is only taking care everything. If you think about, we are nothing. Everything automatically happening, everything is around happening, and we just unnecessarily take.
Gradually you get used to it. That's how it is.